Just giving it a second to make sure it's going live. We are live. Welcome, beautiful royalty, friends and family from all over the world. Welcome to the Revolution podcast. I am your hostess, Queen Aline, and today I am joined by a very special friend of mine, plant-based ambassador, incredible athlete, bodybuilder, bench press, professional bench presser, my dear friend, David St-Romain. And today we're going to be talking about his incredible journey with veganism, with his, bodybuilding journey. He holds some amazing world records with a personal best of 650 pounds bench pressing. So anybody who's out there wondering if we could build muscle on a plant-based diet, if we are going to be strong, if you have any questions around, we're going to be talking about protein, what our body actually needs. Also, we're going to be talking about his journey, how he came around to discovering all this knowledge and not only discovering it, but applying it to himself and just boosting up his energy. I am loving his energy. He's got like amazing vibes, and he's really made it his life mission to help support others and empower them and teach them about cellular regeneration, detoxification. We're also going to be touching on Dr. Morris, some principles that we have learned from Dr. Morris to help you on your journey. He is so passionate, so enthusiastic. Please follow him as well. If you don't follow him yet, please check him out. He is so inspiring. He makes regular content and videos also to really motivate you and help you on your journey. And we definitely need more people like David in our world. A beautiful light worker, strong, masculine man who has so much compassion in his heart. I cannot speak more highly of you because you truly are a warrior in our world. And especially men, I love seeing men, find that kindness in their heart for the animals and for themselves. And just like, let's break down all of the programming that we've, been bombarded with since birth about what we truly need to be strong and healthy. So without further ado, thank you so much, David, for doing this with me today. I'm so excited to introduce you to my community, the Revolution community, friends and family at large. So share a little bit about yourself. Let's start with a little introduction. Tell us a little bit about yourself and we will get into it.
Well, thank you very much, Elaine, for that great introduction. And I'm very blessed and thankful to be here doing this interview with you. So just a short little background about me. I started this plant-based journey about 4 years ago. I had kind of a great spiritual awakening. And as I was doing the bodybuilding stuff and the powerlifting stuff, just sitting there eating all of this chicken and rice meal after meal, it just kind of didn't resonate with me like consciously. I'm just kind of like, this is not right. So I started venturing out, and I had found a few naturopathic doctors that were working with certain people with certain health conditions, and they were actually reversing these people's health problems. So I became very intrigued with it because it was all done through, the diet, the nutrition. So I was like, wow, this is pretty interesting. So I had actually started applying this to what I was actually doing, and I started noticing, hey, high blood pressure that they told me was hereditary and would never go away actually resolved itself. My high cholesterol, my sleep apnea, all my aches and pains from all the powerlifting and bodybuilding started getting better. I started having more energy, clearer skin. The way my face looked started getting better. I started dropping body fat. I mean, all these amazing things. And I was like, oh my goodness. And then I stumbled upon Dr. Robert Morse, who's been such a great leader in this raw evolution and, helping people with these health problems. And I started studying under him. I went to his online course and got certified as one of his detox specialists. And now basically I work with people all around the country. I'm from the United States. I live in Hawaii. So I work with people all over the country. And I mean, I'm here to help anyone around the world with their health problems. Basically, I'm a detox coach, and we teach you how to put your body back into balance. That way you can see all of these great health improvements and health transformations. And I have a passion. This is what I love to do. This is my purpose. Being here on this earth is to share this message and enlighten people with this.
So wonderful. Oh my gosh, amazing. Yes. And, you know, I like to say this, the proof is in the pudding, especially when people come at us from different angles, and they're very doubtful. A lot of people have a lot of fear around this lifestyle. Am I going to be emaciated? I hear a lot of men saying this, like, oh, I don't want to become too skinny. I don't want to become too small, and there's a lot of fear around that because we've been told our whole life we need chicken, dairy, meat, protein, 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 this like protein obsession. And then we have like someone like you emerging in the fitness world with muscles, and it redefines what it means to eat. Like, what do we really need? And I think it's so important to have these kinds of conversations because there's so much misconception around nutrition. And I'm sure you've been through it, right? Being in the fitness world, like the whey protein and the shakes and the this and the raw eggs. I don't know what you did exactly, but a lot of us have kind of tried it all, keto, paleo, and then to come to this path. And I want to know, like, in that moment, what was it that spoke to you the most? Was it like really that moment, or was there other moments in your life before where you had heard about this, or was it just like one time you heard about it and it just made sense? Or was there like other things in your life as well that were kind of guiding you, shaping you in this direction?
It really just happened all at once,
Wow.
honestly. Yeah. And I'm a very open-minded person. So when I saw this, I was like, let me try it. Why not? I've tried everything else in the past. So I started doing it. That's when I started seeing a massive change, not just with my physical body and my strength, but spiritually, consciously. I mean, everything starts shifting. And it's been a blessing ever since. So
Amazing. Oh my goodness. Yes, more endurance, stronger, better mood. Like those are some of the incredible benefits. And I love that you touch on this spiritual as well, because it really does open us up to connecting, right? To connecting to our own spirit, right? Spiritual meaning like our own spirit, but also a higher power perhaps, or even our angels perhaps, whatever, belief system that someone may have. It really does connect us spiritually and helps us to find our purpose, find our voice, find who we truly are. And I really believe that we are here to be of service, in whichever way we feel called, but we are here. We are being called, especially now at this time in the planet, to raise the consciousness of the collective, right? Like there's so much crap going on in the world, and here we are being called to heal ourselves, because I truly believe when we heal ourselves, we heal the world around us. It may not always seem that way, and it may seem like a lot of chaos, but the best thing we can do is really, really take care of ourselves, take care of the animals, take care of our planet. This is not just a physical journey; it's a spiritual one, and those that are called, it's an incredible warrior's journey, and the results, the benefits are absolutely incredible. When we get the right nutrition, when we get the right macros, the right amino acids in the body, right? We are frugivores by nature. Therefore, when we are ingesting the right nutrition, we can reach that optimal state of performance. Have you seen the movie Game Changers?
yes,
Yes.
it was a great documentary. It really was.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of flack from the other side, but it's legit. I love it.
You should go on the next one if they ever make one.
Absolutely. I'm here for it.
For those who haven't seen the Game Changers, it's all about athletes, and they talk to them, and they're all plant-based athletes. The strongest man alive is plant-based, and they even compare the blood, from athletes that were eating meat to not eating meat, and they see how like the blood is so much clearer. There's less, fogginess in it, and they actually see an improvement in their
Yeah.
health. So Were you a coach before this, before changing your diet, or was it really your change of diet that inspired you and empowered you to help others, or were you already involved in helping
So
people in some kind of way?
I've been like a personal trainer and stuff for the last 16 years, like my whole life.
Yeah.
But I was doing like coaching with bodybuilding and powerlifting and stuff. But when I discovered this, I was like, oh my goodness, this is what I really need to do. And this is what I became really passionate about because I mean, there's so many weight loss coaches, there's so many bodybuilding coaches out there, but how many people do you know of that are health transformation coaches that somebody comes to you with a health problem and you teach them how to
Mhm.
improve or reverse it?
Mhm.
You know, it's unheard of. I had never heard of it before, you know, so it's like, hey, I'm going to venture out in this path where there's nobody else doing this because
Mhm.
this is something the world desperately needs because I mean, we're the sickest our society has ever been. So, I mean, this is something that we really need to put our focus on and helping these people understand that, hey, you don't have to be in pain or live with these health conditions. It's all from your lifestyle, and all of these things can be improved to reverse by the change of your lifestyle. And we are the ones that's beginning this whole revolution of
Yeah.
things. We're the ones coming out with all the testimonials and stuff and showcasing the effectiveness of this. We're the front leaders. So I'm so excited and blessed to be part of that and part of this movement. It's been a joy.
Definitely, we are at the forefront of this incredible movement. I love that you said that. People truly are tapping into this information, to the truth. I really believe that we have a species specific diet. Now that may look a little bit different from one person to the next. One person may eat more fruit, may eat more greens, some people may digest nuts and seeds better than others, the whole raw vegan, whole food plant-based. Some people may eat a little bit of cooked foods, like it's all like an individual journey. But I think as a rule, or as a general, observation based on studies, based on um, experience as well, we know that meat, dairy, grains, all those inflammatory foods are truly not foods for the humankind. So we need to like really focus on the plant kingdom, right? To really get what we need. And that is exactly, we are the shining examples, in our energy, in our smiles, and the way that we interact with people, the way we carry ourselves as well, the love we have for ourselves. I think people really feel that. And thank you for mentioning the testimonials. We have some incredible testimonials. So stay tuned till the end. David is going to share some of the people that he has helped and what they have to say about his coaching and about this lifestyle and what it's done for them. So amazing. I love to see this. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know what you think. Have a lot of plant-based friends out here. A lot are transitioning, a lot of are learning. People are definitely waking up. And I mean, you've been on this path for 4 years. That's incredible. And I think people are definitely more open now, especially since like what was going on, 3 years ago. Information started coming up. People started asking questions. Why am I getting sick? What's this about, you know, these injections? What is an immune system? What's a lymphatic system? People started being more interested in their health than perhaps they were, 10 years ago when when I was starting. So we're in a good time, and I really have a lot of hope for the future, for a lot more people adopting this lifestyle, and we could have a more compassionate, loving world. And they say, tell me if you agree with this, but they say that, as long as there's going to be blood on our plates, there's going to be blood on our streets. So let's touch a little bit on this too, like in terms of it being bigger than food, what we're doing here.
Mhm. So, I mean, basically, we're trying to showcase to people that, we are a species just like any other species on the planet, and we are meant to eat a designated food group.
Mhm.
And whenever we steer off from eating that food group, we tend, especially eating like meats, dairy, grains, refined products, the processed foods and all that, we tend to get out of balance with who we actually are. And it's not just physically. This is where when we start getting sick, our body starts breaking down, we start developing symptoms. It's also consciously, spiritually, we start pulling away from that. Because I know from personal experience, when I was doing a lot of the meat and those types of the animal products, that I was so pulled away from consciousness and spirituality. I mean, there was a part of me that I was like, do I even like believe that there is even like a God or anything anymore? I mean, it just completely pulls you away. And then also in those animal products, there's like a lot of adrenaline. So there's more aggression and stuff. And I mean, this is what people are feeding. And people have a lot of anger issues and they're feeling depressed. They have anxieties. They have all these issues. And as we come back to what we're actually supposed to eat as a species, we start noticing these things, the aggression, the depressions, anxieties, these mental health problems, and just the way we feel, the way we look, it just starts shifting in the other direction. Like, it's absolutely amazing. So I've been on both sides of the spectrum, and I'll never turn back and go back to eating animal products or anything like that ever again, just because of the way I feel and the way I look now. And it's like I want to keep my youth. Like, I'm 34 right now, and when I'm 60, I still want to look like I'm in my 20s or 30s. So
Yes.
it's very important to me. I don't want to look 80 years old when I'm 60, and and it's all my choice. It's all our personal choice based off the way we carry ourselves and our lifestyle and dietary choices.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. That was a really that was a great explanation of that. I definitely feel that, because mental health, our mental health is directly connected to our gut, right? There's more serotonin that is produced in the gut than there is in the brain. And what do doctors do when somebody goes in and says, oh, I'm struggling with depression, I'm struggling with anxiety? And this, I'm speaking from personal experience. I come from mental health issues and addictions, and doctors told me, oh, you have to take these medications. Oh, I took those medications. And for years when I was younger, and for a little stint when I was in my 30s as well, because I was just like so desperate for healing, right? And you believe them. But it was only until I started healing my gut that I was not depressed anymore. And I'm not saying like, okay, I don't get those moments where I'm feeling sad and what, but like I was chronic, like I just wanted to, DIE type of thing. Like I was really, really in a bad state. And now I'm like so joyful, so happy, so like positive, hopeful, all these things. So when we think of our mind and what somebody is capable of doing, when we're thinking of like all these horrible things that are happening and people going out there and just like shooting a bunch of people or just like losing it. There's shit, and again, I was there like with the drugs. It alters the chemistry of our brain. It makes us a different person. So yes, to come home to ourselves, to come home to our kindness, to come home to our balance, to our sleep, right? Being able to sleep good. So many people are struggling with their sleep. So many people are struggling with just basic functions. Pooping. They're not pooping properly. We're not pooping. We're not sleeping properly. We're not waking up properly. We're hooked on coffee. Like all of these things are really messing up our basic functions, our organs, our glands, our adrenals are shot, our, pituitary gland, like hormones, like women are having heavy periods. Like I could just go on and on with the issues that come from eating a highly processed and artificial diet for us. So yes, coming home to ourselves will bring more peace to our own life and more peace in our world. I've become a better mom, like a better friend, everything from this lifestyle. And I'm sure you have too. You've seen so many benefits, in and around you. What was people's reaction when you went through this? Because you were in the fitness industry already. Like, what kind of reactions were you getting from people?
Everybody was crazy for one. But now I prove all of them wrong.
Yeah.
But coming from just a bodybuilding and powerlifting background, and I was skeptical at first, as anyone, but I'm very open-minded to trying, especially when it comes to the whole protein thing. So at the time, I was eating about 360 grams of protein a day when I was doing the meat thing. Yes, my poor kidneys. But this is what my coach had me doing at the time. And it just did not feel right to me, like consciously. So I started experimenting. I started pulling the proteins down. I went from eating, a lot of chicken and beef to switching over to like, well, I'll call it salmon, and then dropping my protein intake to like 150 grams just to see, because I was concerned, am I going to lose my muscle if I pull this protein out of my diet? So I cut my protein in half for several weeks and didn't notice any difference in the way I looked. I said, okay. So several weeks later, I pulled fish completely out of my diet, no more animal products, and I switched over to like a tofu. And I was consuming maybe about 60 grams of protein a day. Still no changes in the way I looked. I was like, oh my goodness. So this whole time I've been lied to about how much protein I'm actually supposed to be consuming.
Yeah.
And then I eventually just cut the tofu out, and I'll eat it here and there every now and then. But really, I don't have any like primary source of protein, because the primary source of protein on the planet is your fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
It's the grass. I mean, the cow is eating the grass, and you're eating the cow. The meat's the secondary source of protein. Why not just go to the primary source of protein, which are the plants?
Yeah.
And also with the protein is that our bodies can't even like use an entire protein structure. You'll have hydrochloric acid and pepsin actually break it down into amino acids. Your body can only use simple amino acids. Then they take that and they use them as building blocks to reshape them into the protein it actually needs. So the whole process of invoking the hydrochloric acid and the pepsin, I mean, it's acidic to the body. You're creating acid in the body when it's not necessarily needed. So why not just give it the simple amino acids it was designed to have from the plant source? And my main source, plant source for the amino acids is alfalfa grass. And Dr. Morse talks a lot about that, because I mean, that's what they feed racehorses to make them bigger, faster, and stronger. And it's also, something that we never thought, and it never crossed my mind when I was really into the bodybuilding stuff, is, we're cooking our meat. So we're killing it more, and your protein is going to start denturing around 105 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, I mean, you're cooking it at 350, 400 degrees Fahrenheit for like 20, 30 minutes. I mean, it's nearly rendered worthless. It's damaged protein that you're consuming. And this is why they're saying, oh, well, you have to have 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Well, yeah, if you're eating damaged, dentured, dead protein, yeah, you have to consume a lot. But whenever you're consuming the primary source of protein, you don't need nearly as much, maybe around 40 grams a day. And your kidneys thank you so much more for that, because they don't want all that protein, because protein is an acid, it's acidic. And then if you're over consuming on proteins, your body's just going to flush this out, because it can only utilize so much protein at a time. The rest is converted into ammonia and urea, and it's just eliminated out of the body. So you're just throwing more acid onto the body. So whenever like these bodybuilders eat a lot of this high protein diet and stuff, it's all inflammation. Because you look at any like, really big professional bodybuilder, whenever they come off of, their performance enhancing drugs, but also start lowering down the amount of animal products they're consuming, they'll start to deflate, because it's all inflammation. Dr. Morse talks a lot about it too. It's just simply stacked proteins that they're putting in their body. It's all it is. It's not actual cellular muscle tissue, because at the end of the day, dead tissue does not build new healthy tissue on us. Like, it doesn't even make logical sense. A dead animal is not going to create new living cells on me. just doesn't make sense. So I really don't even focus on how much protein I'm consuming, because your body has a recycling system, and if it needs certain amino acids, it will recycle other things to create those amino acids, and it can reuse the ones that it already has. It's an amazing system, and it has an intelligence of its own. So the whole protein myth is just, it's bro science, and there's such a better and healthier way to do bodybuilding and powerlifting, and I'm a testimonial to that, and I'll never go back to eating that again, because I look better and I feel better than I ever have doing that type of diet.
Thank you so much for how to say, like, demystifying that, because there is a lot of questions around protein, right? But I feel like people are just repeating the same narrative. It's like protein, protein, protein. And you ask them, like, what's a protein? And they would never be able to give an explanation. Most people wouldn't be able to give an explanation like you just gave, you know what I mean? So it takes someone with eyes to see and ears to hear to receive this message as well. And truly, we don't really see people dying of protein deficiency. It doesn't happen often. Even as a vegan, like, people have this misconception that vegans are weak or anemic or anything like that. I even had a conversation with a doctor the other day in the bus, and he said I was anemic, and I'm like, "Ugh, you could tell, like, what do you mean I'm anemic?" And then he's just like, "Oh yeah, you look anemic." And we just got into it, doctors, like, we just were just like butting heads so much. But it was an interesting and there you are, and you want to know what he was eating? Like, he was eating a poutine. We have like poutines here, like French fries with like cheese and stuff like that, with like bacon on top of it. And he waved it in my face, and he was like being a little whatever. That's a whole other conversation. But I was just like, I'm not tired. I don't. And he like touched my fingers too. He wanted to see if like it bounced back, like if it bounced back. My nail comes back, like it goes pink again. Like there's no anemia. You know what I mean? And I barely eat any protein. Like sometimes, I'll eat some sprouts. I'll eat some a little bit of like hemp seeds, some chia seeds, but I'm not big on the nuts. I'm not big on the protein. I'm not big on the like lentils or anything like that. If I feel like I need it, I'll have it definitely, but I'm like all about the fruits and the amino acids. And even me, it took me a long time to change that mentality. The first time I heard of a fruitarian, I was like, what? Like, that's not even possible. I was already vegan, but I was like, fruitarian, like all they eat is fruit and leafy greens, like where's their protein? Because I was still in that like mentality of needing so much protein. But yeah, it's really the amino acids and the quantity that we eat as well. And yeah, go ahead.
And with the ones that they say, that, oh, if you go be a vegan, you're going to get skinny and whatnot, and those that actually do transition over to vegan and they have a hard time like gaining weight or putting muscle on, there's several different reasons for this. One, you could have malabsorption and utilization issues of the nutrients. So that's one thing to take into factor. Number two is, are you actually eating enough of the foods to build your body? Because a lot of times, we're not eating enough if we're wanting to actually build and become, more muscular and more stronger. And third, gosh, I went blank for a second. It's the weight training. How are you training? Are you lifting weights in the gym? How are you doing it? What are your rep ranges? What are your sets? How are you exercising? That's a main thing as well. So, if you're a vegan and you're having trouble gaining weight, I guarantee you have one of those three things that are not in the right place, because I've done it. I go up in weight, I go down in weight. I can be however big I want. I can be however skinny I want. So, and what I notice is that, if I go on, I go back and forth. I do bodybuilding for a little while, and then I will clean out, I'll detox and focus on healing for a little while. So when I'm in a healing phase, I am raw, complete raw, fruits, berries, melons, and raw vegetables, my salads. And I won't deter away from it. I'll stick to it. Now, when I'm doing more powerlifting, bodybuilding, I eat a little bit more of like quinoa, buckwheat. I'll do a little bit of maybe like a sweet potato, maybe like a little bit of purple or wild rice. I do those things just to get the glycogen stores and to fill out the muscle bellies that'll help give me the shape. But then my training also changes as well. Whenever I'm doing more bodybuilding, I'll do higher rep ranges. When I'm in more of a healing phase, I'll do less reps to prevent all the lactic acid buildup, and I'll focus more on the heavier weights. So these are all things that definitely play a major part when trying to build, regardless of if you're raw, a vegan, a meat eater, whatever. They're very, very important because the way you're going to eat is totally going to coincide with the way that you're training. They go hand in hand. They're synergistic to each other. So I just wanted to drop that in there.
Very important information, and I was taking a mental note too to come to circle back to this, to why people may be struggling to gain the weight. We were talking about it before, and I wanted to mention what you were saying, and also the malabsorption. That's often what happens, and it's not just thin people who are malabsorbed, it's also very overweight people who are malabsorbed. You could be very malnourished and weigh 400 pounds. Actually, the more overweight people are actually the most malnourished, because oftentimes they're eating foods that are void of nutrition, right? So I think, like, on a whole, once we heal the gut, and also I wanted to mention too, the malabsorption comes from leaky gut a lot of the times, and that comes from eating a lot of things that have been sprayed with with glyphosate, you know, all those chemicals and agrochemicals as well, and that comes a lot of the time in the wheat. A lot of the wheat products, the breads, the pastas, they have a high level of glyphosate, and so we have literally holes in our membrane of all of our intestine. The mucoid plaque as well is like really constrictive to allowing the body to absorb the nutrients, right? Because it's like it coats the lining of the intestine, the colon, everything. It's just in there. It's sludge. It's old waste. And so it builds up, and it stops you from really absorbing the food. So you may be absorbing, I don't know, 10-20% of what you're eating, but it's not fully being utilized. It's not fully going in. So definitely getting that mucoid plaque out. And, you know, you could do it through juice cleansing. You could do it through a fruit fast. It could be over time. It could be very quickly if somebody needs to go in there and have like an intense, you know, almost like a surgical procedure. I would say, like, get in a juice cleanse and get that mucoid plaque out, and you're gonna feel so much better once that old sludge is out. We also are dealing with parasites. We're also dealing with so much like different pathogens and bacteria and all kinds of things inside of us that it's like a whole ecosystem, right? And we want to change that ecosystem. So if you're struggling with cravings, just focus on incorporating more, right, living foods, more fruit, more. The more you eat, the more your gut microbiome is going to get used to that as well, right? And start craving it, right? Like, do you ever crave meat anymore, or are those cravings like completely gone now?
I have no cravings
Yeah.
for anything. It's been since 2019, so 5 years since I've had what they call like a cheat meal, to where I'll have either like some type of fast food or some kind of like acidic food from a restaurant or anything. If I ever want like what they would consider a cheat meal, I'll just simply make it myself with my own, herbs and spices or ingredients. You
Yeah.
know, I always can make a healthier choice. So if I want some type of noodles or a pasta or a pizza or whatever, I will make it myself from scratch using the ingredients that I know are better. I will never go to a restaurant or a fast food place to get pizza or to get, whatever, because I don't know what they're putting on there. And, I'd rather be more mindful of how it's prepared and what ingredients and what herbs, if they're putting processed salt on it. I mean, all of these things make a huge difference.
Yeah.
So I'm very mindful with what I eat, but I don't have any types of cravings for sweets. Or if I crave sweets, I crave fruit.
Yes.
Because they say we all have a sweet tooth. Well, yeah, because we're frugivore.
Exactly.
Our body wants fruit. But no, I never have any cravings for meat, animal products, not even like starches or anything, like none. It's great. I know when I used to eat the animal-based diet, all the time, you're always hungry and you're always craving something. Well, it's because I was full of parasites and I was malnourished, basically, because the food I was eating didn't have much nutrition. So now it's complete 180 opposite side of the book right here. So it's much better now.
Oh, hallelujah. I am so happy to hear that. I'm so happy for you as well, and proud to, be a witness and be part of your incredible journey and your incredible transformation. Um, I think I'm seeing you froze on my screen, but I think you're still on. I can see you on the live and it seems okay. You're good? Like, do you see me
It looks
good?
good to me.
All right, good. Perfect. Yes. Oh my goodness. So many people are, I think there's like, we're at a crossroads, humanity, it seems. There's like this whole carnivore movement that's getting stronger and stronger, just as we are getting stronger and stronger as well. I don't know if you agree with me, but like I just saw somewhere there's somebody who came on my post the other day and all he did was just make fun, tease, da da da, just so negative about the lifestyle. And he said, oh yeah, no, we like make fun of you in our groups. I don't know which group this is, but apparently they like take my pictures and they just destroy me and they destroy the lifestyle. So there's definitely a lot of like that polarity going on, and I don't do that. I will never point out to somebody
Exactly.
like, oh, what you're doing is wrong, or like you look so like, we just shine our light. But I think as we progress, we need to get stronger, we need to get louder, we need to really get this message out there, because they're doing it on that side and it's not healthy, and they're telling people they're curing cancer with raw meat. Eat the raw meat. Oh yeah, no, cooking is, that's too, when you were saying about the cooking, I was like, yeah, but now they're eating it raw and they're like promoting it raw, and to me I just feel like so sick to my stomach to think of that, like to just put a raw piece of meat in my mouth with no seasoning just to prove a point that we're a carnivore. Like, we don't even have the teeth for it, we don't have the hands for it. That's what I tell people. I'm like, okay, you go catch your animal with your hands, you go put your teeth into it, and we can have a conversation. If you want to tell me that that's our species specific diet, go show me how you do it. I want to see it. No tools, because God put us here with no tools. Oh yeah, we have brains and this and that, yeah, we invented a bunch of stuff, but how were we naturally brought here? To eat berries, to eat fruit, to eat maybe a couple grains and leaves? Like, that's what we're here as. Yes, we've changed and we've adapted, but
No, I mean, meat's acidic. So they're the acidic side of this whole movement, and we are the alkaline side. They gossip, we empower. It's two totally opposite sides. I'm the same with you. I will not sit there and down you for what you're choosing to eat. I mean, that's your choice, and it's up to you during your journey to awaken to this, like I have. But yeah, totally, we're not carnivores. We don't look like carnivores. We don't. Our GI tract is 27 feet long. A carnivore's GI tract is 5 feet long. I mean, if you ever, eat meat, it usually takes like a day or two to go out into the intestines, down the intestines, and out of the body. Well, if you ever put a piece of meat in a jar and close it and put it outside in the middle of summer, because it is 98.6 degrees in this body, and you open it after a day or two, it's horrible, because it's putrefying in our intestines, it's building all these parasites, it's damaging our intestines. So we don't have the intestines, we don't have the gastric juices that carnivores do. And if you look at true carnivores, which are cats, lions, tigers, they sleep all day long. They have no energy and they are skinny. Ooh. And whereas, the plant eaters are the biggest, strongest, fastest, most intelligent animals on the planet. And that's what we do. And, the people that say that they've improved their health, by eating meat or something, and Dr. Morse touches a lot on this too, is that meat is a suppressant. So it's just like taking a medication. it'll give you the illusion that these symptoms have gotten better because you're slowing down, you're stopping the body's detox of the lymphatic system even further. So the symptoms give off as if they have improved or gone away. They have not. The only way you can actually improve your health problems is by cleaning your body, detoxing your lymphatic system, and bringing proper hydration, oxygen, and nutrition to the cells. Living food that makes you living. Dead food will never make you living.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Ooh, I got chills.
Right. And a lot of people that consume the meat and stuff, they're using plants to make their meat taste good.
Mm-hmm.
Go eat a piece of chicken, just boil it. Don't put no salt, no herbs, no spices or nothing. You're not going to eat meat very long. You're going to want to come eat some fruit or some berries or something where the flavor's at. I mean, the meat by itself is not going to taste good. And then cooking it, I mean, that's a whole nother scenario. And then, like you were saying, having to go and just kill the animal with your hands and then just bite into it. I mean, you're not going to be a carnivore for very long. You're going to go find a blueberry bush somewhere. And you're gonna be like, this is too much work. But yeah, it's just the generations and from when we were cavemen and all of that, it definitely is a changing of the consciousness.
I love your imagery. I think how you explain things, how you express yourself. Everybody who's tuning in right now, like this is such a treat, and not just a treat, like share this with your family, share this with your friends. You don't know whose life you can save with this information, right? Like I'm getting so many aha moments from you, David, just hearing you explain things to me, even though like I may have heard bits and pieces other places, but you truly have a gift of sharing this message with the world. And I just feel so honored to be here with you in this moment. Like I was saying, I haven't done any interviews in a long time, and the doors open with David, and I'm so, so grateful and honored to be in this, in this conversation with you right now. And, more of us, it just brings up to the light that each of us have our own way of expressing ourselves. Each of us have our own unique way of sharing this message, right? Your way is so unique, my way is so unique. And to everybody out there who is on this path, who has a story to tell, like I encourage you to just open that door, right? Open that door. You want to have a talk with David, you want to have a talk with me, like let's connect. Let's open up this conversation to have more. And your testimonial is going to change the lives that it's meant to change, right? Somebody needed to hear this from you today. Somebody needed to hear your story and the way that you share it. So don't hold back. And I know that, David, this is one of your passions as well, to help empower others. I love that one of the messages you sent me was like, we need more people like you in this world, right? To help, to support, to mentor. So communities are important. I just launched my new community today. So if you're interested in connecting with others as well, come into our community, the Revolution Inner Circle. We share the similar passion, David and I, to really help empower others to thrive on this lifestyle, because it's not just about cutting out the animal products, right? Like that's one step, but then there's a whole learning, right? With Dr. Morse, we learn about what to eat. Like, okay, what do I do now, right? And I'm very in line with what you're doing too. The sweet potato, the quinoa. I was like raw for 3 years, exclusively raw vegan, and it was amazing. Like I felt super good. And then I had some experimentation with a little bit of cooked foods. I went down the rabbit hole of restaurants, right? I have a Thai food addiction that I'm working on, so all of that, because it's like highly salty and seasoned and all of that, but it wasn't having like the best effect on my body. But anyway, now I'm coming back to 95% raw. And if I feel like having the sweet potato or the steamed broccoli or the little bit of wild rice that's cooked, or the bowl of lentil soup, I allow myself to have that. And I find it like a way better balance for me in my mental health as well. So, I call it the Rawvolution, and it's about eating as much raw living foods as we can while respecting our journey and our transition. And I really don't believe necessarily that we, kill all the nutrients. I think a baked sweet potato is so nutritious. I feel it in my body. I feel it intuitively. I feel a great bowl of like vegetable soup is so nutritious and I feel good after. I have some days where I'm exclusively raw, and then I have some days all on fruit, some days all on juice, and some days where I will have, vegetable soup, and it's amazing. So I love that approach. It's all about whole food, plant-based, and reducing the oils, like you said, reducing the amount of like high seasoning, the MSG, all of that, to keep it as like close to natural as possible. And we train our taste buds too. I love that you say you're not having cravings anymore. It took me a long time to not have cravings, but our taste buds, they change over time too. So if you're worried that you may not like certain foods, or you don't enjoy them as much, just keep trying. Keep trying, keep opening up your mind, and prepare them in ways that you like, and you will start craving them over time. I promise you, your body's just going to be like all I want right now is juice. All I want right now is fruit. Like when I think of food, I just think I want to go get a big bowl of grapes. I want to get a big bowl of watermelon. Like that's what makes me feel my best, what's hydrating too, and what allows me to digest better too. Food combining is really important as well. I found to like just be mindful of what we combine as well to optimize the digestion. Like we don't want to be like combining like watermelon. Well, I don't know, everybody's different. I just like to talk about food combining a little bit because I'm really sensitive, and I know as we go on this journey we do become more sensitive sometimes. But like like having a bowl of beans, for example, and then having some watermelon half an hour later, you might not feel your best because the beans take a little bit longer to digest and the fruit just passes really fast. So that's when you're going to experience bloating, farting, inflammation, maybe a little bit of discomfort. So definitely look into like food combining as well to just feel your best and help yourself. And you're going to just make so many changes to your life. Yeah, such an amazing conversation. We're so like just really in sync with everything, with our journey, with our belief system, with how we're helping people. And without further ado, did you want to mention anything else before we get into the testimonials?
No, I'm ready to jump in.
Yes,
Good.
again, the proof is in the pudding. We love to hear people's stories. We love to hear and see too. We're very visual people, so it's good to see the actual testimonials and to hear what they have to say. And we could continue the conversation, but yeah, let's open it up to sharing the testimonials that people that David has helped. So I'm going to make you the host right now. Hope everybody is enjoying this. Let us know what you think in the comments. I am seeing your comments over here. Queen Kennedy, hey, beautiful. Queen Anna, while he's pulling up his
Am I
chat.
host yet?
I think so, but now I'm only seeing myself on the screen. Hold on. I think you're the host.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So I've worked with numerous clients with numerous different health issues. And I mean, a health issue can be anything from having something like headaches to all the way to being in a wheelchair or having blood sugar issues. I mean, it's just anything that's not, that doesn't feel normal and good to the body is a symptom basically. And it's a symptom is simply just your body's malfunctioning. Either an organ or gland is not functioning properly, and thus it's giving off a symptom which we refer to as a health issue. Like people think that, oh, I have a headache, that's normal. No, something in your body is actually malfunctioning. Or if you're having some bloating, or if you're having gas problems, or like I say, if you're having high blood pressure or high cholesterol, or if you have one of these major degenerative conditions, something in the body is not functioning right, whether it's an organ or gland, and it's breaking down, it's giving off a symptom, and that's what we are calling health issues. So some of the things that I've worked with over 70 different types of health issues now. My favorite ones are definitely the guys in the wheelchair. So this is one guy that came to me. He's a full C4 quadriplegic. And whenever he came to me, he could barely move his arms or his legs. I mean, he was basically just a talking head. And after it was about a year, and I put him on a complete raw food diet. He had to make the choice. He did the work. I'm just an educator in this. But within a year, we had him up and walking, from his wheelchair, from not being able to move. And I remember one of his happiest moments is when he said, "David, I can finally raise my arms high enough to put my own deodorant on." Like, we don't realize how much we actually take for granted with what we actually have. And, with somebody like this, we went all fruit, absolutely no protein. So how do you build somebody that cannot move to getting their muscles to build enough to be able to move again like this? And he's also a type 2 diabetic. He's lowered his insulin greatly down. He's off the metformin, and he's also lost, I think it's about 45 pounds. How does somebody in a wheelchair that can't actually move lose weight without being able to exercise? Well, it's all done through the foods that we are consuming. So he's a great one. This is another guy who came to see me. His name was Otha, and he had been in this wheelchair for the last 3 years. And his doctors told him, you're not going to walk again. The same with the quadriplegic. They wanted to give him a wheelchair you control with his tongue. Terrible. And within 4 months, I had him up and walking on this rail. But now, he's walking around with 2 canes. He's getting all the attention from the women now at the gym. Loves it. He's finally being seen again. He's no longer in that chair. He can get up, he can go do what he wants to do. And now he's really focused on being able to drive again. He wants his whole life back, and he's gaining that back. But he had to make a change in his lifestyle. He had to come to the gym, start doing the training again, changing the things he was eating. This was one girl who had a cyst on her wrist. She went all raw, and within 3 weeks, the cyst was completely gone. And if a cyst is the same thing as like a boil, a pimple, a cyst, an abscess, a tumor, they're all the same things. Mm-hmm. So it's just simply a pocket of lymphatic fluid that's built up, and all you have to do is detox the body, flush it out, and these things will correct themselves. This guy had some high cholesterol issues. He came to me, he was terrified, because they wanted to put him on all these cholesterol medications and stuff. His was at 194, and now it was at 153. So in less than a month, we got that under control. Here's a great one, because he did bodybuilding with me. So he went from looking like this, standard American diet, full-blown diabetic, to looking like this at 60 years old on a plant-based diet. And he's more raw than I am. So 60 years old, he bench presses 310 pounds. He was a type 2 diabetic. Here you can see his A1C was at an 8. And through this transition, we got it down to a pre-diabetic 6.1. So he's reversed his diabetes. He's no longer a type 2 diabetic. He's now considered a pre-diabetic. And he also tore his bicep tendon in his where it attaches in his shoulder, and he couldn't raise his shoulder or his arm up very high for the longest. And through this regenerative process, he was able to fully extend it all the way back. And this is where we started working on his strength more and more. And he was able to bench press well over 300 pounds at 60 years old. And he only weighs like 195 pounds. And he doesn't take any type of performance enhancing drug or anything. This is natural right here. And he also took his testosterone. I know it's maybe a little small to see, but he was at 190. His free testosterone, and we got him all the way up to a 684. So anybody going to all these TRT clinics, I got low testosterone, I got to take the test shots. No, you do not. You simply have a bad diet. You got to detox your body. When you do this, your adrenal glands, your testes will start producing testosterone again, just like that's my bell. I do day trading too, so it's the end of the day. But low testosterone, you can improve it, you can reverse it. You don't have to do all of these unnecessary low T shots. Again, it's another thing with the medical community to, push another type of medication or treatment. Myself, I've had great transformations. This is where I started when I was 15. This is when I started the whole working out and doing cardio and all of this. And this is where I was when I was powerlifting and bodybuilding. I mean, I was about 284 pounds right here, just massive, so inflamed, so many health issues. I mean, I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, I had insomnia, I had the sleep issues, I had fatty liver disease, I had erectile dysfunction, I was well overweight. The aches and pains in my joints, my knees, back, shoulders, I mean, everywhere, just always hurt. I mean, and I had all of these issues, and I went plant-based, and this picture right here being really lean, this is all on a plant-based diet. And here in this picture, I was still bench pressing 540 pounds and I mean, feeling great. I also had an umbilical hernia. You can see here, it kind of looks like an eyeball sticking out of my stomach, and all raw food. I did this for 9 months. I did take some of Dr. Morse's herbs, and as the months went on, the descended intestine or the prolapse intestine slowly started pulling itself up higher and higher, and I could feel the hole start closing in more and more. And now it's to a point where you can't even tell that it's even there. So people that go and that have hernias that go and get these toxic meshes put in them, like, just let your body correct its own issues. Try not to put any of these toxic injections, these breast implant. I mean, just all of this toxic stuff, because it's all going to have a blowback on your health someday. This was a sweet lady that I worked with for a while. She was 97. She's going to be 98 this year. And she was leg pressing, and she's been like vegetarian, vegan, raw food almost her whole life. And she's leg pressing about 300 pounds right here at 97 years old.
Amazing.
I love her to death. She is so sweet. So you want longevity. This is what she's done for longevity. And I mean, here's another guy that I worked with. He was also in a wheelchair, but he wanted to do like some bodybuilding. He came to me for kidney stones because he stayed in the hospital with just his whole urethra. Kidneys were covered in kidney stones. And we cleaned him out. He never had to go to the hospital again, but absolutely amazing. He's able to do pull-ups in his wheelchair.
God. Wow.
And he's like 50 years old. So, I mean, there is no excuse, you know, to get in the best shape of your life, to get healthy, to be the best version of yourself. This is my sweet grandmother.
Aw.
She was 82 years old, and she went from here. She was about 267 here. She went all the way down to upper 180s in a year with no exercise. This was strictly a raw food diet, and she did the diet tremendously. I was so proud of her. And I mean, she lost a ton of weight, and she felt her best that she's felt in years. And here's a great one for someone that's looking for more like a transformation. Okay, you want to get really lean, you want to look great, you want to look your best. Raw foods. I mean, you can see her abdomen. She had a lot of GI issues, and now, I mean, she's shredded. Girl with an 8-pack. I mean, literally amazing. And you can see how fast, 7-week difference in the way her abdomen looked, all from switching to a clean raw food diet. So, I mean, that's just some of the health issues that, you know, I've worked with, that we've seen tremendous results. I mean, obviously, I can't get testimonials from everyone because not everyone wants to, give a testimony. They're kind of shy and whatnot. I did change you back to the host, by the way.
Oh, good. It worked.
Yeah, so just know that, you know, whatever the health problem is, from the amount of people that I've worked with to the amount of testimonials and stuff Dr. Morse has, and the others that are like us. And I mean, we're getting quite some amazing things going on our side of the fence, you know, and just know that, if you go do see a medical doctor, that their primary purpose is to give you a treatment or a medication to suppress the symptoms of the problem. They're not actually there to go over any type of lifestyle change, dietary advice, to do any of that. They don't deal in the realm of healing. They deal in the realm of, what can we give you to suppress those symptoms and give you some temporary relief. Whereas what we're focused on is really cleaning your body, detoxing it, and you just basically go back to eating the way your body was designed, and your body will do it for you. We are just simply educators. That's all we are. None of what we do is anything medical. It's none of it's medical education. It is just simply the way nature intended us to be. And we've raised our awareness, our consciousness, to realize that, hey, this is how we're actually meant to live. We're meant to thrive, not survive. And when you do that, you're the happiest, most self-loving, best version of yourself, healthiest version of yourself you could ever imagine. And this is the way the universe intended us to be and live. So there's that.
Amen and hallelujah. Look at those testimonials. I mean, one could say this is miraculous healing, right? I mean, you helped people completely transform and save their lives. Kudos to everybody who has opened their heart and had the humility to change, with you for themselves. You showed them what's possible. I think that is so beautiful. And there's nothing more amazing in this world than to show somebody what's possible. Look at your grandma. Like, you gave her how many more years to her life? We are not meant to be old, fat, sick, die young. Like, we are meant, I mean, we're not meant to be those things when we grow older, right? We're meant to be thriving. We're meant to be moving freely. We're meant to be exercising up 100 years plus, like 120 more. It's a little bit, our environment, but we're meant to be living like long life, especially if we get out to the tropics, right? We're all going to be moving there soon, planting our fruit trees. Yes, we're manifesting some beautiful, because the air quality is so important, the water quality. Like, the deeper you go into this, the more simple it becomes, the more like your priorities start to change. Like, my priorities right now is just getting back to nature, getting out of Canada, and going to like grow my own mango trees, because that's the level I'm on right now, because I don't want to be eating conventional fruits and vegetables that have to travel 2 weeks with God knows what chemicals and pesticides all over them. Like, that's where I'm at. There's nothing more important than growing my own fruit trees. I'm not there quite yet, but we are starting. Anyway, we have our project in Belize, but all this to say, yes, the more you tap back into yourself, the more the truth is revealed to you. It's not complicated. It's really not complicated. It's a little bit difficult to apply, right? Because we have trauma, we have stress, we have anxiety. So what we're talking about here is really getting to the root cause. And I encourage everybody to do even deeper work than this. If you're struggling with the food addiction, if you're like buying bags of chips and you're struggling with that, then I really encourage you to go within. Go within. Maybe you need to see a therapist for a little while. Maybe you need to explore plant medicine ceremonies, maybe some inner child work, some shadow work. There's a lot of free resources too on YouTube to do this, to go to the root cause of why you're feeling. And it's like that cycle too, right? Maybe you're feeling anxious because you're eating the foods that are making you feel anxious too, right? If I start drinking coffee again and eating croissant, like, I'm gonna feel anxious tomorrow. Yes, I have anxiety. Yes, when I'm eating the wrong foods. Now I could feel a little nervous here and there, but I'm not having like full-blown panic attacks anymore. I'm not having like days on end where I can't get out of bed, things like that. So we can heal that anxiety with the foods. And also, you will heal the food addiction by healing the anxiety. So just go deep to the root. And that's what I love about Dr. Morse. That's what I love about what you're sharing. It's all about going to the root cause, which the medical system, unfortunately, they're great. If we need to go with a broken arm, like I will go to a doctor. I will go to a doctor if I need, emergency situations. But when it comes down to diabetes, tumors, like you were saying, any kind of fibromyalgia, any kind of autoimmune disorder. What is an autoimmune disorder? It just means the body is acidic. The body would never attack itself. The body will never attack itself. Like you said, the body always wants to heal itself. It's a self-healing machine. It's a self-healing organism that will always want to go back. So it's actually trying to protect you. If you end up with a tumor, your body's actually trying to save your ass by bringing all of those toxic cells together in encapsulations. And what do we do with biopsies? What do we do with all this stuff? We go in there and we burst it open and we make it worse. So do with that what you want. I'm not here to tell you whether to go or not. I'm just sharing my experience. Even with this doctor I was talking to, he's like, so you never go see a doctor? I'm like, no. He's like, when's the last time you went for this, that? I'm like, probably like 10 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. My daughter, she doesn't go to doctors. No, like why would she? Why? She does, nothing's wrong with her, nothing's wrong with, let's not go looking for it. But we have to have a healthy diet. So for those who don't want to make the changes, go to the doctors. Go take the pills if you don't want to make the changes, because that's a fact too. If somebody doesn't want to make the changes and they are very overweight and they need to manage their diabetes and they want to go that route, that's okay. But if you want to take your life in your own hands and make the changes and not be dependent on a pill or medication or doctors, then you have to make the changes. And that's what we're here to do, to help you to do that, because we don't want to see you addicted on pharmaceutical pills that will really cause more damage in the long run. There's so many other issues. When do you ever just take one medication? You're going to develop a problem with this and your liver, and there's always repercussions to going down that path. My dad, 70 years old. I love to talk about my dad because he went plant-based 10 years ago as well. He reversed so many chronic issues that he had. And he wasn't like that sick, but he was heading in that direction. And I tell him today, I'm like, had you not make those changes, you wouldn't be playing pickleball today. You wouldn't be thriving. You wouldn't be dating beautiful younger women. You know what I mean? Like he looks good for his age. He's thriving. He's living it up. He's happy. And I'm so proud of him. I'm so happy because same, like I helped him to live a longer, healthier life. He's done juice cleanses. He's predominantly raw, but he eats some cooked foods, and he's just given up so many toxic habits. So it is possible to change at any age. So if you're watching this and you're like, oh, it's too late for me. No, it's never too late. Look at his grandma. Look at my dad. Like we have some amazing people around us that want to live. Your why has to be strong. Your why for doing this has to be strong. What's your reason for doing it? Is it to, live a healthier life for your children? Do you want to travel? Like focus on your reasons for doing this, and you will find the motivations to change. So okay, so let's close off with this question. So somebody who's like just starting off, this is the first time they've heard about plant-based living, the first time they, ever maybe even met someone like you, a plant-based bodybuilder. What advice would you give somebody who is just starting off?
Well, it's definitely a transition. Don't jump in full 100% for sure, because you will most likely go back to doing what you're doing and you're going to give up on it. It's a slow process. See the changes, slowly pull out different types of foods. Don't give up your favorite food just yet. Just start incorporating more of the alkaline foods, your fruits, berries, melons, and your raw vegetables. Just start to see the changes in your health, the way you think, your skin, just these types of things. And then as you see more and more, you'll become more and more motivated. You're going to want to stick to it more, and your progress is going to be a lot more efficient. So I would just take it really slow to start. Venture out, watch some of my videos, watch some of Aline's videos, Dr. Morse's videos. I mean, we are lights to this. We're here to empower people and show them what you can do with this style of or way of eating, the way nature intended for us to eat. And, she also, offers her own services. We're always here to help anyone. You can always message us, and we're always here to help. You can always DM her. You can go DM me. You can visit my website at alka-clean.com. I also have a free group. It's called Natural Healing, Health Improvements and Reversals, where I put a lot of free information out there. So there's a lot of free information out there with all of this. If you're somebody that needs a bit more hands-on guidance to work with you with that, we both offer, coaching and whatnot. You can always, inquire about those types of things, but the information is out there. You just gotta, make the decision to want to be your best version of yourself and start it today. Don't wait till tomorrow, because tomorrow's never going to come, and don't make excuses. You have to really become the person that you want to be, and you will become that person. If you just keep making excuses, and nothing's ever going to change for you in your life. And then this goes with everything. It's not just health. It's the way it's the financial side of things. It's the relationship side of things. If you want better, you want more, you have to match that timeline in which the universe has it already existing. You just got to raise your frequency and match it. It's absolutely amazing.
Wow. Ooh, I got chills. Like, Holy Spirit, God is with you. You are such a powerful messenger from the Most High. I am just really amazed with you and your ability to convey this message. You're very well spoken, very intelligent, and very knowledgeable, and truly your experience and testimonial, your personal testimonial also, like, I'm so proud of you for having turned your life around, and for all the people around you. Like, look, when we heal ourselves, we heal the world. Look at the world around David is healing. Like, your world is healing. Everybody around you is healing naturally, And whether we have testimonials or not around us, like, people are changing, people are picking up on what we're saying. Maybe not everybody, but you'll see. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to change. They're watching you, though. They're watching what you're doing, and what you're doing has an impact on them. And they may come around in 6 months. They may make fun of you right now. They may make fun of you right now, and then come to you when they're having health issues in a year or 2 years, once they've done keto for long enough, or once they've maybe hit a wall, or they realize that they can't go to the bathroom, or they're struggling with their skin, whatever it may be. Just stay kind. And that's my motto. I mean, sometimes I'll be a little firm with people, but I'm always kind. I'm always like loving and kind and respectful and compassionate, because I know that they need support, and they may not know what they need at the time, right? They do what the best they can with the information they have, but yeah, we're here to shake things up. We're here to shake things up. So definitely, I'm going to put the name of your community and your website as well in the comments. After that, I don't want to be too distracted, but I'll definitely add that in the comments. Can you please repeat the name of your website, just so everybody has it?
It's AlkaClean, ALKA-clean.com.
Okay, alkaclean.com. Perfect. And definitely reach out to David if you would like to work with him one-on-one. If you have any questions, please reach out. Let's go. I'm going to come into your community as well. I'm not sure if I'm in there yet, but I don't think so. I'm going to come in there right now, and you are more than welcome. I am inviting you to our Revolution community, and I would definitely love to collaborate with you again in the future and have more conversations like this, have more just truth coming out, right? And continue to shine our light and really help those around us. I love everything that I heard today. I'm so excited for everything that's to come in your life. You're still like, how to say, like in the beginnings, of your plant-based journey. So I'm super excited to see like what the next 5 years, 10 years, and your, amazing people that you will continue to serve and help. Retreats, I'm seeing like so many different things that we could potentially collaborate with. So I'm super excited. And that's what it is. Like, I definitely felt like a call, like, okay, it's time to connect. Sometimes there's a time to like be on our own, and to be like in that healing space. And we don't always want to share our journey. We sometimes are in some dark nights of the soul. It's not an easy path, right? Like, yes, we raise our consciousness. Yes, we open up our minds, we become the best version of ourselves, but that comes with a breaking down of everything we've ever known. That may come with periods of like, what the fuck is going on? A period of anger, right? Like I call it the angry vegan stage at the beginning sometimes, where you're just like, stop eating animals, like stop the murder, because we just woke up to what is happening, and it is horrible what's happening. But I have chosen to take on the approach of like empowerment and positivity, and really like showing people the amazingness of the plant-based lifestyle. And it's for the animals, it's for the planet, it's for our health. So it's a whole awakening, and sometimes it's not pretty. It is not always pretty. I broke out a lot during detox phases. We could maybe do another video too, talking about some detox symptoms that people may be experiencing, because that's sometimes it's part of it. It's just the body releasing the toxins that are in there. So don't get scared if you do get on this path. I always like to make this like as a disclaimer. If you do start on this path and you start realizing you're having headaches, or you're experiencing, it could happen, tiredness or even nausea, or certain things might happen. This is the path of the warrior. I'm not saying it's easy, but just be patient with yourself. And there's tools and there's tricks, that I like to do enemas. I go to colonics. I sweat a lot. So give your body the chance to support the elimination pathways as well, so that you could get through that detox phase, and then you could get to feeling good. It could take a little time, but there is another side. I promise you, there is another side, and it's amazing on the other side. So anything else that you would like to share?
Oh, it's just been an honor. I thank you so much for allowing me on your platform and to, speak about this, and, much love to you and to all of your viewers. We're always here to help. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor. And thank you for everybody who tuned in, who received these incredible, powerful transmissions. If you are here today listening to us, it is because you are being called. You are definitely being called to taking good care of yourself. And we encourage you to love yourself. Everything that you're saying, I'm feeling like so much love radiating from you, and that love starts with that self-love, right? Because when we love ourselves the way that you love yourself, you radiate that love outward, right? When you love yourself and you're taking good care of yourself, you can like shine that light, and your heart chakra opens up even more, and you become like this beacon of really positive energy for everyone around you. And this has ripple effect. Yes. Queen Anna said ripple effect, like it's the butterfly effect, right? Like you're having an effect on the other side of the planet, outside of the universe, like you just changing yourself. So have that self-love, give yourself that self-love. You are so worth it. You are so worth it. You are deserving of the best, happiest, healthiest life, and to live super long. Make it with us. We want to see you live. We want to see you thrive and live your best life and inspire others around you. That's how we're gonna make a big impact. So thank you so much, David. And I look forward to our next talk.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Peace. And don't be shy to reach out to both of us for more support. All right. Bye, everyone. Let's see you on the next one.